Hi, I'm Chris Haig and this is the Fiddle Channel, and today we're going to have a go at Misty. Misty is a lovely, really slow ballad written by Errol Garner, the pianist, in 1954. It's been recorded at least twice by Grappelli, on both occasions with pianists. I'm going to show you first of all just the melody with some suggestions for the fingering. I'm going to talk about the timing and phrasing, how you can lengthen notes, alter the phrases. I'm going to look at the soloing and the fingering that you can use for the E flat major pentatonic in both the first and third or fourth positions. And finally I'm going to show you some of the soft harmonics that you can use on a tune like this. All things being equal, you would play this in the key of G or some such thing, which is very easy for the fiddle, but almost everyone else will play it in E flat, so I am suggesting that you do actually learn this in the original key, because if you're playing this with anyone who is not a gypsy jazz player, they're certainly going to want to do it in this key. And also it's good practice, and I think everyone should know the flat keys. So I think far better to start in third position rather than, partly because first position is going to give you an open D, which you don't really want. Starting in third position allows you to do a bend up to the first note, and also a slide up to the D, and a nice vibrato. And if you listen to Grappelli playing this, he really extends the intro. Something like that. And if you were bringing this in, you might want to suggest that the band come in on the third note. So I'm then going to go down to first position and then back up to third again, for the same reason, to get that nice slide and vibrato. And then back to first again, up to third again. Back to first. So I'm sliding from the third finger, like that. That's fourth finger, third. You could do that either in third or first. And then I think it's a good idea to change octaves here. So here we're going from a D flat up to a C, and if you find that hard, just practice it over and over again. So all of that last bit was in first position. You may be wondering, is it really worth doing all this position changing? And I think it definitely is. You will lose an awful lot playing this just in first position. Into the second half. So that I'm playing as a E natural. But written as an F flat, which is something of a rarity. Possibly an impossibility, I'm not really sure. Now here's an example of two bars with nothing happening. And if you just play that note and leave it, it's going to sound pretty lame. So I would do something like... a little run going down. And there's quite a few places in this tune where you do want to fill some of those gaps. But we'll come to that a bit later. So let's play all the way through just the melody. I'll just decorate it a little bit, but I'll stay close to the melody and just watch for those position changes. Notice that we did the A section, the repeat of the A section up the octave, we did the B section, and then we go back to the second A section, so that we are ending on an E flat, not as the first ending. And I decided to do this in the lower octave the final time round, which I think gives the thing a nice shape. Okay, I mentioned phrasing, and you could spend a lot of time learning exactly the phrasing, all the little triplets and things, but I think that is time well wasted because you really want to put your own phrasing on virtually every bar, every phrase, every run. First two bars, you might want to break that long note up. Do da 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 da. I don't want to do that. Down ba ba da ba 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 down. And then instead of ba da 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 da, I'm going to do. That's a nice effect. It's up bows. Each bow given a real articulation. Followed by, instead of, I'm extending that first note. And then here's one of those places where you've got two bars with nothing to do. And here dynamics is important because these notes that are going to fill these two bars are a lot less important in their own way than the melody notes. So instead of strong, powerful melodies, we're going to do really soft, really gentle notes, quiet and mostly played at the tip. And a lot of them really short, about an inch long. So that when you get to there, then it's going to be a lot more power. And as it goes from the D flat to the D natural, that is the high note of the melody. And from there it comes down again. in terms of fingering, when it comes to the solo, the easiest way to approach it is to do most of it treat it as E flat major pentatonic. And I know people who've been to jazz college will throw their instruments up in the air in disgust at hearing this idea. But if you are a relative beginner, this really is a good way to approach a tune like this, so that you're not tearing your hair out looking at every single note of every single chord. So just listen as I bluff my way through on just the E flat major pentatonic. I'm going to be doing it in first position, and some places replacing the fourth finger with the first finger. And I'll put in a few flattened thirds, which will make it the E flat major blues scale. So some of this will work, some of it might not. Let's find out. Danger, danger. So, to my surprise, even the dangerous part of the last line where it goes to A minor 7, D7, I still got away with it, I think. So it wasn't sophisticated, it wasn't musically very interesting, but I think pretty well all of that worked. And that was using what I used to call the snowplow method, where I just plow the chords apart. However, when you've been doing this for a few years, then you will want to approach the chords with much more respect. But that's not what I'm going to do in this lesson. I want to finish off by talking about harmonics. And a slow ballad like this, where the rest of the band hopefully is going to be nice and quiet, and even a 1 in 100 chance the audience may be quiet and actually listening, then this is your chance to really show off your harmonics. I did a video called 5 Harmonic Effects for Jazz Violin, and this goes through these in detail, but we have what I call the Grappelli harmonics. And the best place for those would be where it very briefly goes A minor 7, D7, C minor 7, but you could probably get away with them elsewhere. There's this type of harmonic where you're fingering normal notes, but you're playing ever so lightly, so that about half of the note is kind of a rough selection of harmonics on top of that. There's the fourth finger harmonics, where you finger the note with your first finger, you put your fourth finger lightly above it, and then you have to move position for every note. That's quite tricky. There's the two harmonics which were mastered, I think, to best effect by Didier Lockwood. The harmonic swirl. That one, which because of the key, that might not work very well here. And also the sigh, which will work in any key because it doesn't have a key. Okay, so I'm going to give you once through, mostly on soloing and mostly with lots of harmonics. And that little thing at the end is an idea I took from Didier Lockwood's solo on Nuage. And the idea is you go up a scale using just your first and second fingers stepwise, and you get softer and softer as you go higher. And you end up as a little white cloud up in the sky. Hope you enjoyed this. If you would like a copy of the sheet music, then do subscribe and send me an email. I do have a book all about jazz violin, exploring jazz violin, and a simpler version, the beginning jazz violin book as well. And a whole heap of other jazz standards on the Fiddle channel, and PDFs for all of my videos are available on my Patreon page. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.